Hi, Tim Blankenship here with Divorce661.com. Today we're here with Patty Handy, Patty with an I, Handy with a Y.
Handy with a Y, right.
That's great. Today we're talking about a ebook that she has. So you're a mortgage broker, first of all, first and foremost.
I'm a mortgage advisor, yes.
But she has come up with an ebook at DivorceSurvivalTips.com that is the 6 steps to financial healing after divorce?
After divorce.
I can't even read my writing. But it's another resource. If you follow our videos, you know, we're always putting out information as much as possible, helpful tips. And I thought this would be great to get on video and have another resource for you. So I thought maybe you could come on this video and tell us what they may learn or why they should opt in for this ebook.
Yeah, it's a great resource for anybody who's thinking about divorce, going through divorce, even post-divorce. Getting their financial house in order, basically. It's, again, 6 steps of financial healing after divorce. It's free. It's a download ebook at DivorceSurvivalTips.com. Excuse me. It is basically goes through steps that you should do in order to get yourself kind of dialed in financially. Organizing, getting a handle on your credit score, pulling your credit report, separating assets, separating credit specifically. And just taking charge of what you're doing financially, because that's a real, painful part of the process. Because when you do go through divorce, you're splitting everything in half and you're starting over.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you with our clients, like we were talking earlier, when they're going through divorce, of course, there's the emotional toll that it takes, but there's also a financial toll. When you have one income, one household, you have one standard of living. You have one income, 2 households, totally lower standard of living. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a real eye-opener to folks to see what that standard of living is. So this is something that would be helpful in opening their eyes to things that they're going to have to deal with in going through this transition.
Absolutely. And typically what happens in a marriage is one spouse will be the money manager. They'll be the one who pays the bills. They'll be the one who does the investments. They know where all the accounts are at. So the other spouse really doesn't have a clue. So if you're the spouse that doesn't know where things are at, it is absolutely crucial that you get a handle on where all the accounts are at, get account numbers, get an Excel spreadsheet, get everything. And that's part of the organization part of it. And know where all those assets are and become empowered. Become knowledgeable with money, and money in itself is a topic that is very uncomfortable for many people, divorce or not. So the more you're empowered and educated, the more confidently you will be able to go through this process, which is, of course, a very emotional, exhausting process. And having gone through a divorce myself, I completely understand that. As frustrating as it may be, speak with your spouse, get everything organized, get all those statements, know where all your credit cards are. Just know really what your financial house looks like. That's going to be really the first step.
Yeah, that's good information. And that brings up another good topic. Our clients coming through here, I think a good percentage of them have a pretty good idea of what the finances are. I think let's say husband made the income like you're kind of referring to. We're seeing about, probably if I had to guess, 50-50 people who know what the finances are and some that are just clueless. What has been your experience? I mean, you've written a book we're going to talk about here shortly. Do you have any information on that? Like what you've seen, people are aware, they're not aware, they're clueless? What have you seen in your...
It's interesting, even outside of divorce, I think more times than not, money is one of those topics that are, it's I don't want to say taboo, but it's uncomfortable for most. And again, whether you're going through divorce or not, there's a lot of people that are uncomfortable with the process. And I think to answer your question, Tim, the majority of people that I see who aren't the money managers, who aren't the people who pay the bills and take care of the investments, they are somewhat clueless. They don't know where the assets are. If the husband has a 401k, where is it and how much is in it? Other mutual funds, other investments, other stocks. Checking and savings accounts, they probably have a pretty good handle. But if there's any outside investments, they don't really know where they're at and who to call. If they were to call, Vanguard or Fidelity or Charles Schwab or whoever, here's my account number, what do I have in there? So I see more times than not many people not knowing.
Not knowing.
The spouse who doesn't do the money managing, they don't know. They
Yeah.
just trusted the spouse to take care of the money, and they just dealt with the kids. Or a lot of times the woman is the money manager, and the husband's
Yeah.
out working. That was the case in my marriage. I was the person that dealt with the money and managed everything, and
Yeah.
my husband was out working. And I mean, I had a job as well, but he was the one that just let me do it all. He's like, you know money, you do it.
You know, it's funny. There is that trust factor. We have, say we have a wife in here, filing for divorce, and they say, "Shame on me. I should have been more attuned, or I should have paid attention." And I usually will tell them, now you're saying that, but it's too bad in life that has to be something you have to be concerned about. You should be able to have a marriage and not be worried about these things. It's not until this type of thing happens that
Yeah.
it becomes a real issue. And the other thing, I think the courts got something right in that, where parties aren't informed of the finances, when going through divorce, you have to do what's called your preliminary declaration of disclosure. You have to list all your assets and debts. This is so both parties become aware of what the assets and debts, so there can be an even distribution of the property. So.
Very, very important. And you're right,
Yeah.
the whole trust aspect. I mean, when you go into a marriage, you don't go into it thinking that you're going to go get divorced and, I need to watch out what you're doing. And you're in love and you're going to spend the rest of your life together. And this stuff is never, expected.
Yeah.
But it's just smart. And again, whether you're ever going to divorce or not, you should know your money. I mean, if your husband goes off to work and he gets killed in a car accident, you still need to
Yeah.
know what things are happening financially.
Yeah. Okay.